Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a chatty get ready with me. Instead of running through all the products, I'm just going to literally list them all in the description box, and I'm just going to sit down and have a chat with you guys about me, what's going on in my life, where we're up to, things like that. So if you like the sound of this video, then stay tuned and make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well before you go anywhere, and yeah, let's just jump straight into the video. Okay guys, so yeah, like I say, I'm not going to go into loads of product details with what I'm putting on my face. I'm literally just getting ready for the day. So I figure what I'll do is I'll throw all the details in the description box for you. So if there's anything that you like the look of or anything you've got questions about, you can always drop me a comment and I'm more than happy to answer those if you've got any questions. But all the actual item information will be in the description box. So yeah, I was saying in a previous video that I've not sort of been around for the last... it feels like 2 weeks. It's probably 2 weeks since I've actually filmed properly. And that was just because of the fact that my little boy had tonsillitis, so I generally didn't have time to sit down and film anything. He had that, well, I still don't think he's 100%, but he's at nursery. People are probably wondering as well. I have had a couple of comments in regards to people asking questions about why I can sit down and film when he's at nursery. Why am I not at work? Do I have a job? What is going on? So I just thought this video would answer some of them questions. So yeah, Lucas goes to nursery at the moment 4 days a week. And initially when I went back from maternity leave, I was working, how many days? 5 days a week, I think it was. Then I got really poorly. This was sort of October 2016. So I got really poorly, ended up in hospital with like really bad stomach pains and things like that. And it turns out that I had got Crohn's disease, which is an inflammatory bowel disease, which basically gives you like horrendous stomach pains, stomach cramps. You have to be super careful with what you eat, and it literally just came out of nowhere. So that happened, and I was in and out of hospital for a few months, had to sort of reduce my hours down at work on guidance from the actual doctor. So at the moment I'm only working 3 days a week, and it's not really a full day, it's sort of half a day and then a couple of sort of 5.5 hour days. So that's why I do have some free time to actually sit down and film. So at the minute, there's absolutely nothing wrong with me. Crohn's is something that you have it for life. So now that I've got it, it'll probably flare up quite a lot. It has flared up about 3 or 4 times since I actually got diagnosed, which was like December time. But again, that's not something that I've really mentioned on my channel, not really spoken to any of you guys about it. So I just thought I should fill you in. So yeah, I'm working reduced hours at the moment with work. So that, as I say, is why I sort of have more free time to sit down and film and things like that. Hopefully at some point I'll be able to go back to work, you know, full time. I want to sort of get as much of a normal routine back as possible. I don't want to have too much free time on my hands, you know. I like being busy and I really like being at work. So the company that I work for at the moment is a funeral planning company, which sounds so random. And yeah, it's like prepaid funeral plans, so it's dead busy, it's always really hectic. Obviously people are always dying, so there's just a lot to do. So, and I miss being at work, I miss like the social, you know, like the social aspect of it, seeing everyone every day and catching up with the office gossip and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, as soon as I'm feeling physically 100%, obviously I do intend to go back to work 4 or 5 days a week. It's just at the moment, I'm just physically not well enough to do that, so. That is that. So yeah, obviously I've mentioned in a couple of other videos that I do have a little boy, Lucas. He is, well, he turned 1 at the beginning of February, so he's 12 months old, and he is a little legend, honestly. I don't really think I've ever gone into too much detail in terms of Lucas's sort of my personal situation in terms of Lucas's dad and things like that. So I am a single mum. I bring Lucas up on my own with tons and tons and tons of help and support from my family and my best friends. So he genuinely isn't missing anything. Wasn't my decision to not have Lucas's dad in his life. Obviously, I don't know, you know, unless of like sort of really, really extreme circumstances, I don't know why anybody would choose that for a child. Lucas's dad literally just decided one day when Lucas was about 2 months old that he couldn't be a dad. It was too difficult, it wasn't what he wanted, so he went off and did his own thing, and yeah, that was pretty much that. It doesn't upset me at all anymore. I can talk about it completely normally because I am totally over that. And yeah, and I don't think that, you know, he's necessarily missing out on things. Obviously sometimes I do think, oh, he's missing out on this or he's missing out on that, but most of the time it genuinely doesn't bother me. Obviously my life is mega hectic. To be honest though, I totally like it the way that it is. I wouldn't change it for, I literally wouldn't change it for the world. But obviously when I don't get videos up, or sometimes if, like recently, Lucas has been really poorly, I've genuinely not been able to get, I've not been able to sit down and film. So that is the reason sort of I'm bringing, obviously trying to do what I can in terms of bringing Lucas up the best way that I can. And, you know, sometimes that obviously means sacrificing my personal time, which is completely fine by me. It was just really to give you guys a little bit of an explanation as to why sometimes my upload schedule might be a little bit strange, you know, if things are going on outside. I don't want you guys to think that you know, I've forgotten about my channel, or I've, you know, I've got other things to do and I'm too busy. So it's just really to let you guys know that that is the situation at the moment. What was I talking about then? I think I was talking about Crohn's, and doing reduced hours at work. Where was I going with that story? Oh yeah, so as I say, I was literally only diagnosed with Crohn's, I think it was like December time last year. I know it was around Christmas because I was in and out of the hospital. So basically, we went through all different sorts of things in terms of looking at my diet and things like that, and the doctors decided that it was probably due to like an increased level of stress that I'd been going through at the time. Shortly before that, obviously, I'd just gone back to work after being on maternity leave, so that was a little bit of a shock to the system. Obviously, I'd just been pregnant. When I was pregnant with Lucas, I lost my dad, and I lost my nan on the exact same day. So the doctors were basically saying that sometimes when you have a stressful thing that happens in your life, it can take a while for it to actually have a knock-on effect on like your mental health or your body or something like that. And they thought that maybe the Crohn's sort of springing to life for no apparent reason was maybe just a build-up of all these things that had happened sort of over the last 12 months. And obviously I was a new mum as well, didn't really have a clue what I was doing. You know, they sort of came to the idea that maybe the Crohn's was, like I say, a gradual build-up of all that. But it's not something that I would say rules my life. At first, when I was first diagnosed with it, I was super careful about what I was eating. I wasn't allowed any coffee or any tea or anything like that. Coffee is literally like one of my most favourite things in the entire world as well. So when they told me that I wasn't allowed to drink coffee anymore, I wanted to die. It was horrible. I've just realised that I've actually just sat here and put my blush on without putting my bronzer on, so I'm not really sure how I'm actually going to get this on my face now without it looking ridiculous. Because I'm talking and I'm not concentrating on what I'm doing. So anyway, yeah. But I mean, touch wood, I haven't actually had a flare-up of the Crohn's since sort of Christmas time. Or was it January? I think it might have been January actually, the last time I was in hospital. And they put me on these really strong steroids every time it sort of comes on, and then once you're on the steroids, you're on them for sort of like, I think it's between 9 to 10 weeks, or sometimes it's 9 to 11 weeks. And literally as soon as I start taking them, I do start to feel tons better, and like I say, it's just stomach cramps and things like that. But obviously at the time you feel like you're dying. It genuinely feels like, for anybody that's ever had a baby, it feels like labour pains. It feels like contractions. You can't get up, you can't move, you just can't get comfortable. Getting in the bath, like a really warm bath, doesn't make any difference. So the medication definitely helps. I'm just waiting now to find out what sort of medication they're going to be putting me on long term, because you can't just continue a course of steroids for however long, because it's, you know, it has effects on the rest of your body and things like that. Okay, so another thing that I get asked all the time, especially on Snapchat, like recently, I'm not really sure why, I've been getting loads of snaps from you guys and other people asking me if I'm single, what is the situation with boys, blah, 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 blah. Seriously, I do not have time for a boyfriend. Like, I only just about have time to look after myself, look after Lucas, go to work a few hours a week, sit down and film. It's completely hectic. So no, there is absolutely no boyfriend in my life because I simply don't have time. I think at the minute as well, I'm more than happy just focusing on myself and, you know, and Lucas, making sure that I make time for myself, just even if it's just something daft, you know, like sitting down and filming a video or having a bubble bath and things like that. I think once you become a mum, sometimes it's super, super easy to forget, you know, to forget about yourself almost, because you're so used to looking after another person that sometimes you neglect yourself. Neglect yourself, that's exactly what I was trying to say. And I sort of get really run down if Lucas has been poorly, like, as I say, has been recently. Just because of the fact that my immune system is absolutely garbage thanks to the Crohn's and thanks to the fact that I suffered with like chronic fatigue syndrome and things like that. So I couldn't think of the name of it then. So when if I overdo it, or I've been, you know, super, super busy and not necessarily eating properly, not looking after myself properly, it has a massive, massive impact on me. I literally can go into hibernation mode and just sleep for the longest time. And sometimes I'll burn myself out and I feel like that's what I need to do, and I'll get in bed for 2 days. And I feel absolutely fine once once a couple of days have gone past. So obviously sometimes as well, I find that I forget to do things for myself. Like sometimes I forget to eat. I'll be rushing around trying to get Lucas's tea, trying to get him in the bath, trying to get him organised for the next day for going to nursery and things like that. And then it'll get to sort of 8:45 at night and I realise that I haven't actually had any dinner. That happens quite a lot, and that's something that I need to definitely step up my game a little bit, just because of the Crohn's thing as well. The doctors have told me that the best thing to do is to eat something really small every few hours, and that will hopefully stop the symptoms. You shouldn't definitely don't go for like half a day without eating or anything like that, even if it's just like little tiny snacky stuff. But easier said than done when you're running around after a 12-month-old. That's something that I definitely need to work on. What else was I going to tell you guys? Oh yeah, just also to add to the stress levels, because when someone's stressed, the best thing to do is to put more stress on them. So I got an email through a few days ago to basically advise that Lucas's nursery that he started at, I want to say it was October last year, it was about 8 or 9 months, something like that. The nursery that he's going to is closing down. So I now need to find him a new nursery, which is easier said than done. Because I live literally 2 seconds away from work and I live 2 seconds away from the nursery that he's currently at, I want something that's super close so that I'm not rushing around like a crazy person in the morning. It's literally within walking distance at the moment. So I need to find a new nursery. So I do have an appointment in the next few days to go and see a new nursery. The one previously, I used to work at a nursery that's literally years and years ago when I was like 15, 16. That nursery is full. I already rang them this week, so I can't get him in there. So there is one more nursery left on my list of sort of really local ones. So I'm going to go there in the next few days, well, to have a look around and obviously see what we can do in terms of getting Lucas a place there. So that's just something else to add to the list of things that's going wrong at the moment. So my life seems to go through phases. Sometimes things will run really, really smoothly and we'll not have any problems. And then other months, for a few consecutive months, it's like one thing after another, after another, after another. And I'm just like, oh! So yeah, that's always fun. Okay guys, so I literally just jumped off camera, finished putting the rest of my face on, and I'm done. So hopefully you guys like this style of video. If you prefer these sort of like sit down, chit chat, get ready with me videos, give me a shout and let me know. I just thought that rather than continuing to watch all my videos and not knowing anything about me, it would be quite good to give you a little bit of information, if you like. So, like I say, hopefully you guys like this video. If you do, give me a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below. And leave me any comments in the comment section as well. If you guys suffer from Crohn's or any of the sort of issues that I've mentioned in this video, drop me a comment and let me know and we can have a chat about it, because I'm 99% sure I'm not the only person in the world that's suffering with this. Yeah, like I say, I just thought it'd be nice to give you a bit of an inside scoop. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.